to pop in because I'm getting ready to show you this video on the beef and butternut squash tangine. If you've never had tangine, I kind of want to explain to you what that is, because sometimes people see the name of the recipe and they want to see video because they're like, we don't know what the heck that is. Well, if you've been to any the Middle Eastern countries, there's one actually that has this type of dish a lot, this tangine, and that is Morocco. So if you've ever been to like a Moroccan restaurant where there's like belly dancing and you're sitting on, you know, pillows on the floor, what they do is they have a lot of stewed meats. They'll use like beef or, you know, sometimes chicken, sometimes lamb. And these dishes, this beef or lamb is oftentimes stewed with like a tomato sauce base, which this one is, and I've added in the butternut squash to give you lots of extra beta carotene. That's the orange color. That's beta carotene is a form of vitamin A, so it's very high in nutrient content. This tangine is, but a lot of times tangines or Moroccan food often have little bits of sweet in there too. So you'll see like yellow raisins in these dishes, and this time it's apricots. So you get the little dried apricots, and I'll go through the steps with that with you in the video. But I just wanted to kind of explain what a tangine is. It's this stewed meat. It's usually stewed a long time, which is why you can really cut corners in the crock pot here. So I actually didn't do that, and I ended up cooking it on the stove. You have to leave it on there for quite a while. If you bake it in the oven for a couple hours, you know, you can kind of get that effect, but it's not going to be like cooking it in the crock pot where the meat just like kind of shreds. So if you have a day and you can remember to throw this in the crock pot, that's the best way to do this dish. I let it sit on the stove top and kind of stew down for an hour or so until the meat was cooked, but it wasn't as like soft and shreddy. So another thing I wanted to say is I know I've got a couple of vegan/vegetarians that do these meal prep plans, and I know that this one does have beef in it. Know that you can always sub any of the beef in these recipes for a vegetarian option. This actually happens to have a pretty high plant-based protein content as well because it's got the chickpeas in it. So what you can do if you're vegan or vegetarian is double up on the chickpeas, or you can add like a tofu would do really nicely. If you got, now be sure to get organic, non-GMO tofu, and you can do like a rub. If you get your extra firm tofu, you want to make sure you press it out and get the water content completely out of the tofu so that it's dry, and you get that rub. You can rub in the tofu just like you would the meat and saute it first in the saucepan so it gets kind of, you know, toasty around the edges, and then you add it to your other ingredients in the tangine. Now, if you're going the vegetarian or vegan route and you're doing this, you do not have to make it in a crock pot, and you do not have to let it sit nearly as long as the beef. You can probably get by with it in about 30 minutes to just sit there and let it stew in the sauce. If you let it sit there an hour, even better. It's just going to get more flavor into the tofu. So, any of you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. I hope you enjoy this.
And these are the apricots that I got from Trader Joe's. All you have to do is slice them in little bitty pieces. They're going to actually go into the tangine, and they're going to give it a sweet flavor. You cube your beef. I got beef that was already cubed. And then you just put your seasonings in and make sure that all the cubes are seasoned well. I found this butternut squash at Trader Joe's, these cute little zigzags. So they're already chopped up and they're fun. And I just threw them right into the pot. Now I'm ready to make my tangine. I did not use the crock pot. If you really want to make life easy, use the crock pot. Otherwise, it's going to take a couple hours on the stove. This is the quinoa, which is a grain that's super high in protein.